Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's good to be back, and thank you for uh, allowing me to take a day off because I was traveling. But I am super thankful to be back here to share with you these amazing knowledge that literally have changed my life. And today is the January 7th, 2023. And the purpose for this group, we actually recently have changed it to the word lit, which is light transformation. It is a very fitting name for the group, and our goal is to provide or create an environment where we can speak English, where we can exercise our knowledge, the amazing knowledge that we have learned in English in order to spread and help bring this knowledge to every corner of the world. And we just couldn't do it without your help. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for going on this journey with us. I know that we all are very busy with work, life, and even through our final. I know a lot of people are going through your final and your special training. And I know that you probably don't have a lot of time. Therefore, I appreciate it a lot that you share your valuable time with us. And let's get right to it. And by the way, usually I will try to keep the meeting within 1 hour. That way, my friends in the U.S. can get ready to go to work, and all of my friends in Vietnam can be ready for bed. And just a quick recap on what we have gone through in the last um, 6 days, I guess. So recently we had changed the group name to LIT, which stands for Life Transformation, and this is the journey so far. The on the first day we went over the sixth barrier, and the sixth barrier introduced us to the ideas of having everybody have six barriers that stopping them from get to where they wanted to be. And it is the main reason that stopping us from materialize our vision, our goal, our purpose in life. And after that, we introduced on the second day the principle of light, the principle of light. And this is one of our most important principles because this is the principle that can help you break through the six barriers where you can lit up the light inside of you. And that is literally the name of the word lit, because together we will find a way to move toward light, and that way we will be able to attract things that are desirable to us. And the importance of the principle of light is that it will help us light up the seven holistic wealth. Because in life there are four main categories that we often have to deal with, which is um, physical health, inner self, relationship, and finance. So by lining up these seven holistic wealth, we will be able to have a holistic life, and that is one of the end goal. And on day 4, we also introduced the circle of knowledge. Let's see, circle RCLE of knowledge. And this is just a quick recap because today we are going to introduce a very important concept. And I just want to I write this down very quickly because we will use this as a reference. The circle of knowledge is the idea of the entire knowledge of the worlds out there, that there are things that we know that we don't know, and there are things that we don't even know that we don't know. And by having that realization, it will be easier for us to seek for it, so that when information that we are not aware of come to us, it will be easier for us to accept it, to contemplate about that information, so that we can ask the right question to have our transformation. And on day 5, we did the activating the human brain. This is one of my favorite topic of all. Unfortunately, we don't have a record of that, but it's okay. We will go back to this topic many times in the future, and I would highly recommend uh, this topic when we have it the next time, because it does kind of bring everything together. And yesterday we uh, we have another important principle, and temporary. Let's just call it question. Hello, Jesse. I can see the chat here. And by the way, if you can just chat on the chat box, I will be able to see it. And today we're going to do a lot of interaction. So I would like to ask your help to interact with me, because through this we all will understand this concept, this important concept, much better. And and this is one of the topic that will likely take days rather than just one meeting. So say contemplate is a long word too. Contemplate. Excuse me for my writing. It's actually still early, and I didn't get much sleep last night, but I'm still very energetic. So let's do this. Then enlightenment and light. And then we have understanding. Let's just write understand. And finally, through all of that, we will have our transformation. Now, I choose the color yellow for a reason. So it might be a little bit hard to see, but I'm sure you kind of already see in your head the word transformation. And I would recommend to just keep that word in mind. It will help you greatly. So this is the journey so far, and these are the very basic principle that will help us go deep, and it will help us not only understand our inner self, but it will provide us many more principles, many more references in order to get to where we want it, which is the 7 holistic wealth, which is equal to the holistic life. And today I would like to introduce you to a very, very important concept. And this is one of the three big principle or big formula. And let's draw a triangle to show how important this is. So a few days back, I introduced you to the three different way to reference, which is dogma, religions, and through science, so that we can get the information, the energy, and the material. So today we will focus on one of these three corners here, namely science. So there's just 1, 2, and 3. And my goal is to name all three of this corner in the next week or possibly two. And what the topic today is called the root formula. And let's write it here. The root formula. See, MULA. All right. This is one of the three semantic reference system. This is the one that will help you truly find the root of your life. And let me also write down the word, the three semantic, and I'm going to write in the lowercase semantic reference. And just a fun story, I was able to kind of like download this name today, and it does make a lot of sense to me. So reference system by itself is pretty good, just the word reference system. But the reason that I chose the word semantic reference system, because semantic is a form of providing meaning to words or find the true meaning in words. And we can also use the synonym SRS, right? And if you hear SRS, you might think of the word that many people talk about, which is SOS, right? SOS by itself doesn't really stand for anything. It is just a reference of, let's say, when someone is in danger and they need help, they would say it is an SOS. Or if you seen movie where people get stranded in an island and they will need help to get them off the island, right? They would send out like an SOS signal, or they would like bring in a whole bunch of stone together to organize it on like the beach, for example, that spell the word SOS, so that if there was to be any airplane like flying by, they would see it and they would get help. So instead of the word SOS in English, which means send a ship or like save my soul or whatever, in actuality, it doesn't have any meaning. It's just a word that they use to for people who needed help. They would send out a signal. So instead of thinking of the word SOS, I would like you to remember the word SRS, because SRS stands for the Semantic Reference System. And we have three of these semantic reference systems. And you can use any one of these three to reference any information in life. And if you can just understand one out of these three, it will provide you a great understanding of literally life itself. And today we are going to introduce the very first one, the root formula. And I'm super excited and I am super pumped to do this one. So let's get right to it. And again, I'm going to need a lot of interaction today. So please join me. And you know what? If we just like the lesson from yesterday, right? The sharing from yesterday with Miss R, you have to ask the question in order to start thinking deeply about it, start making sense of it, start contemplating about it. And doing that, it will help you enlighten. It is an enlightenment, and then you will have a really deep understand of it, and that is how you will have your transformation. The transformation work in lit. Therefore, let's ask a lot of questions today. And let me get to a new piece of paper. I just dropped my pen there. All right. So if you have your own pen and paper, I would like to invite you to help me draw a tree. So let's say this will be the body of the tree, and then let's give it some leaf. Ooh, this one dry out. Let's different pen here. Better. So, and then let's draw there some fruit. And since we have a lot of Vietnamese friends here, let's just call this a mango. I don't know about you, but I love mango. All right, so we have a mango tree, right? This is a representation of a mango tree. So let's ask ourselves this question. Imagine that we have a mango tree and we want to have a sweet and flavorful mango. And that's why we planted this tree. We we do our very best to take care of it. You know, we give it water, we give it like good soil. We take good care of it. We did our best to take care of it, and we want sweet mango to eat. But unfortunately, the let me write the word sweet so that we can all agree that that is what we want. We want sweet mango. But unfortunately, when the mango was produced, is it wasn't sweet. It wasn't as sweet as we wanted. It was sour. That is very unfortunate, right? So this is where I need your help here. If you have a sour mango and you want to eat sweet mango, what can we do? What do we do with it? What do we do with the mango? Let's start think up some solution. And I can give you an idea. I can start with the first one. So If I were to have a sour mango, sometimes I actually prefer sour. But in this case, let's say I want the mango to be sweet, I would add sugar, all right? Let's use the simple word add sugar. In culinary or in cooking, the word that people like to use is actually called um, macerate. So macerate can be used not only for just sugar, it can be for used for salt as well. So macerate. And what else? What else can we do with to get our sweet mango? Another solution that we can use is we can trade sour for sweet, right? There's some people they might like sour flavor, but you can only eat so much of it, right? I don't know about you, but that's how I am. I would enjoy it, but then if it becomes sour and I get tired of it, then I can trade my sour for sweet. I can trade sour mango or green mango for yellow mango, and that work too. That is another solution that we can use in this case. And the third one, third possibility that we can do is to fertilize, add good soil to it. So let's write down fertilization, fertilization. All right, we have to give it nutrition. And another way that I have tried in the past as well is to change taste. And this is something that I mentioned earlier as well, right? I was like, hey, sour is fine. I can get used to it. But then if not, then just have to deal with it. If it's not sweet, then hey, just change your taste and it might work. And then another way, the fifth way, drafting. So drafting is a technique that you can you can use like a brand of sweet mango, and then through drafting technique, you can add that to the mango tree. And through that branch, right? Let's imagine that this is the mango tree, and then I add like a branch to it of a sweet mango. So this branch right here, it will produce sweet mango. So one way that people do it is drafting, and this is pretty amazing because I know in Mexico, in order to provide more lime for the U.S. population, because we're starting to get like a lot of Asian people, a lot of Asian cuisine adaptation. Mexico actually have to do the drafting technique to add the branch from the lime tree, like with the orange tree, because the orange tree is much bigger. So you will see like these big orange tree producing a whole bunch of like green lime, and it's very fascinating to see. So drafting is another way to do it. And I'm running out of paper, so let's stop at number six, because these are actually the main category, the main way to solve this issue. So number six would be plan a different tree. Yeah, like if the mango is already sour, then what's the point, right? Doesn't matter. Like let's say you try everything already. You have tried to add sugar, macerate it with sugar, or you have tried to trade sour for sweet, but the tree is still there. It's not getting any sweeter. You try to fertilize it, but it still doesn't help with the sour. You have tried to change taste. You have tried drafting, but the tree itself, okay, the actual mango tree itself is still a sour tree. And the solution number six is just plant a different tree so that you don't have to deal with the old tree anymore. And those are the six most common example of how to get sweet mango if you happen to have a sour one. All right. And now we are getting to the important part of today's presentation. Okay. So for a tree, this is how we would do it. But imagine if instead of this tree, let's imagine that we are in a relationship or we are in a marriage with our partner, right? We all want to be happy, and like I mentioned in the activating of the human brain, survival and replication as two of a very big reason for life itself. Those two are literally the meaning of life. So let's start with relationship. Let's start with marriage. You get into a relationship, you get into a marriage because you want someone that can support you, that can go on with you on the journey of life, right? To start a family, to make each other happy. But let's say it was you were happy at first. Let's say the relationship was sweet at first, but then slowly it is becoming more sour, right? Then what do we do with it using the same layout as for the tree, the mango tree, right? So similarly, for relationship, what do we do? And the reason I have to use the tree as a reference because there it's kind of like a seed, right? Let's say this is a seed. There's a very famous quote, a famous saying that you reap what you sow, which means that whatever seed that you put down, you will get exactly whatever that you sow, which is the seed. For this case, the mango tree. And you put down the mango seed, then the mango tree will grow out of it. And let's say if you put like an orange seed, then you will have an orange tree. So similarly, for for relationship, instead of having a happy relationship, you get a sour one, or it's just getting bad. What do we do with it? All right. So number one, instead of add sugar, what can we do? We can we can try to spice up the relationship, right? We can say something sweet to our partner. We can compliment them on how beautiful they are, you know. And it might be hard at first because you might not believe it since it is already sour, you know, since the relationship already goes south. But that's one way to do it. Start being nice, starting to say something amazing. So that's one way to do it, and hopefully it will improve the relationship. And for solution number two, trade sour for sweet. So for a relationship, let's say you are with a man and he uh he stopped like being sweet to you, right? He just he just no longer feel good being with him. And can you trade that person for someone sweeter? It's kind of hard, but it has been done in the past. But the thing is, do you really want to do that though? Let's say if you happen to be in a relationship where the guy was sweet, but the more time that you spend with him, you start to find out that hey, he's not a good guy at all. He have a lot of crazy things that will negatively influence you. So if you are not in a good relationship and that person can be a danger to you, just thinking about it, right? Do you even feel good trading that to somebody else, right? Because it is, let's say it was your misfortune. Are you going to give that misfortune to other? I wouldn't do it, right? Because if that person is horrible, then I'll just get rid of it. In case of the tree, I will just cut it off so that that person cannot hurt any other. But when it's come to humanity, when it come to a human being, we can't do that neither because people can change, people can become better. The real question is, do you have the patience? Do you have the time to give it to them, to allowing them to have that transformation? And that is the answer that you have to answer for yourself. So trade sour for sweet. It's kind of work, but if you're really thinking about it, it's kind of doesn't work neither because it's different when it's come to a human being, when it's come to a person, especially a person that you was in love with or a person that you start hating. You can't just keep it to others. All right. So the next one is the solution of fertilization. So for relationship, fertilization might mean that we started to nurture the relationship. Let's say we can go on vacation together. We can start to exercise together. We start to doing things together that can help make the relationship more fun, happier. But there's still a problem to this solution number three because let's say if the two people are hating each other anyway, right? You don't even want to look at them. Then then how can you spend time with them? And what if they don't even want to do it? Then you can't even like fertilize the relationship. You can't even do anything because unlike the tree, a person can move, a person can think, and a person can make their own decision. So fertilization is kind of like not working because it's up to the other person as well. All right, and then let's think of number four, change taste. Yeah, for food you can change taste, but for relationship, you stuck with one person. How can you change taste? If you hate sour, then it's kind of don't make any sense to learn to love sour, right? What if you're in a dangerous situation? How can you change your mindset to love it? That's a huge problem there. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. And lady, if you ever in a bad situation, just get away. There's no need to change taste because you deserve better. So in relationship, if you ever in a sour one, just leave. You can get a sweeter one. And that was take me to number six, right? From four, from solution number four. Let's let's go to solution number six. Plant a different tree. You can try to get in a relationship with a different person, and this has been done a lot. Many people has tried, and the funny thing is they run to the same problem as before, right? Let's say they want guy number one, they didn't like guy number one because, let's say, he is not romantic enough. He doesn't know how to cook. And then they started dating guys number two. Everything was great at first, and then they starting to have similar problem with guy number two. And you know what? They even tried 10, 20, exaggerate a little bit, but it could be true too. Let's say even 100. They get the exact same person. And that was the case of one of my friends. And actually, it was one of my best friends. And he uh, he kept dating like different girls. But every time like he introduced me to them, they were exactly the same, like same height, same dressing style, even same blonde hair, and the same way of talking. And he wasn't happy, but finally he met the one, the one that he truly loved. And through all of those experience, he started to figure out what worked for him. So he had to plant a lot of tree, right? Not just one tree, just one after another, until he found his luck and get to the right tree. But then again, I don't think that solution is suitable because we can only live so long, and it's kind of hard to get into a serious relationship, right? If your mindset was to just looking for the next one. So what about drafting? How can we do it for people, for relationship? Because drafting is actually cut off something and add on another. And the truth is, this has been done before as well, because especially in Vietnamese culture. And personally, I don't like it at all. I'm just saying that I have made my observation and I seen this happen. And I have known that there are people who in a happy marriage, right? They have their wife and they have their children, but they still have their lover from somewhere, and they even have like multiple relationships. So it's kind of like the example of the orange tree that I mentioned earlier in Mexico. So the tree is an orange tree, but they have many branches of different type of lime. So in relationship, this kind of has been done like that, but usually toward the very end at the final result is still sour. The person who have like multiple relationship, he's still not happy, or a girl who have a multiple relationship toward the end, they still sour. They still not happy. So it's actually very tricky to get a sweet one, to get into a happy relationship, And even for number six, like I mentioned earlier, even if you try to plant a different tree, there is no guarantee that it will be a sweet one. You see? So prior to this, if if you might think that there are many solutions to a problem and you might not have to worry about it. But in actuality, the solution is only temporary. It's just like a sour tree, right? This might be sweet at first, and for some reason it just became sour, and you just don't know what to do with it. And most of the solution is temporary. But thankfully, what we have is one of the three semantic references that we have, our SRS, to use as a reference system, so that we can find the one solution that will work for us. We can find the one solution that will fix it all. And that is the seven holistic wealth, because the seven holistic wealth is the holistic life. And I know very vague right now because there's a lot of information that we have to go over. There are a lot of definition that we have to define. But I'm telling you what, we have a solution. And the solution to many of the big question, right? And to expand further on this, instead of relationship is one of the big category, let's start thinking about health, for example, okay, using the uh, the sixth way to help make a mango tree from sour to sweet. So let's say you used to have good health, you used to be healthy, and now you're not as healthy as before, right? You're starting to have like back pain and then shoulder pain or leg pain. What can you do to change that? Okay, let's say for solution number one, add sugar. How do we add sugar for to get good health? I guess you can, if you are in pain, maybe you can take painkiller or pain reliever, but that is not good for your health neither because it's gonna be bad for your liver. So it's like a band-aid putting on your wound. It's not permanent. It's only help temporarily, as I mentioned before. What if trade sour for sweet? Let's say if you are in pain, let's say if you have your back pain, right, or shoulder pain, who is going to take that? You know, like what kind of healthy person want to have a back pain, want to trade a good health for your back pain, right? And I know there are medical solution for people who, let's say, they have like a bad kidney, they can do like a transplant, but then the other person, the kidney of the other person, they have to give it up for to save the other person. And often someone who just recently passed away, they would like to donate, you know, to be a donor. And in real life, is you can't really do that with an alive, happy, healthy human being. You cannot trade sour for sweet. You cannot just trade your pain and give it to other. That is not ethical neither. And if we go to number three, fertilization, what is fertilization when it's come to health? Fertilization can be viewed as go to the gym, for example, getting more exercise. And that's kind of work, right? Because you can fertilize your health, you can make it better. So this is kind of okay. And but what if change taste? So similarly, you can't really just enjoy pain, right? You can't just like have pain and instead of like hating it, you can't just like shift your mindset to like loving it. I have tried before, and a funny story is this is what my mom used to tell me, my mother, because when I was younger, when I was in Vietnam, right, the winter is very very cold, and sometimes we have to go outside where it is a little bit windy. And what my mom tell me is that she told me that, hey Ben, I know it's cold, but if you believe that it is not cold, if you keep telling yourself that it is not cold, it is not cold, it is warm, then the cold will go away. And I'll tell you what, I have tried that. The more that I'm saying that in my head, the colder it gets, and that it doesn't work for me. Okay, it's that solution. It doesn't work for me, but it might work for my mom. I don't know, but it doesn't work for me. So that's solution of changing taste. It might work for someone, but it doesn't work for everyone. What about drafting? So it's kind of like a kidney transplant I mentioned earlier. Some people was able to do that, fortunately, but it is in the loss of another human lives because they would get the kidney from a donor, and it is a very honorable action, but it's not ethical if you just like take an organ from a healthy, happy person. So the solution of drafting that one, it doesn't work either. What about plant a different tree? Okay, for health. Let's say you don't like your health and you want a different body. We don't have the technology for that yet, and I feel like in the future we might be able to do it, but at this time, like, how are you gonna plant a different tree, right? We only have one body. We were blessed with life. We was blessed with one body. How are we going to change it? I don't know. I don't think it is possible, at least not yet. So similar to relationship, if we were to talk about health, we run into the same problem that these solutions, these are temporary. It is not permanent. And like I said, what I am offering you is one of the three semantic reference system. And you know what? Better yet, I will provide you all three of this. And once you can understand all three of this, you will be able to have a very clear understanding of what you will need to do to acquire the seven holistic wealth. You will be able to acquire the seven magnitude of life, and we will go into a much deeper portion of that presentation in the near future. And similarly, the root of the root formula, there are a second part to this. It could even a third one, but we are running out of time. So I want you to just keep in mind the information that I provided today, and let me go ahead and write the uh, the root formula right up top here to remind ourselves the root formula. All right. And this is one of the big three semantic reference systems. And just a quick recap for this so that we have all of this information for tomorrow. The key to this is the seat. In order to have sweet mango, we have to have a sweet mango seed. A sweet mango seed will give us a sweet mango fruit. There's no other way around it. This is the root formula. Okay. Similarly, for relationship, once you have a bad relationship, it is extremely difficult to alter it, even if you get into a new relationship. In order to have a happy relationship, we need to have the right seed, because you reap what you sow. What kind of seed are you planting for your relationship? Did you nurture it? Did you fertilize it? Did you take care of it? What kind of information is in this seed to help you have a good relationship? And when I'm talking about good relationship, I'm not just talking about a partnership between a man and a woman. When I am talking about relationship, I'm talking about your friends, family, and loved one. Okay, your brother and sister, your father, your mother, your grandparent, your children, your grandchildren, and then the people who help and exist assisting you in life, right? Your boss, your co-worker, people who have great influence in your life. And this is so amazing, everybody, because the example that I gave earlier was just a simple relationship between a man and a woman where they love each other, they come together, but then eventually, for some reason, they just fall apart. And sadly, the divorcing rate right now is very, very high. This can help save it. Once you can understand the root formula, you will know the, the information needed to nurture this seed, and you will have a solution to all of potential problem. You will know what to do. You will know how to have a great relationship with your boyfriend. You will have your girlfriend, or you will learn to figure out how to have a great relationship with your husband, your wife, your brother, sister, parent. And it is so amazing that through this, you will learn how to do that. And also, you will know what you needed to do to have good health, right? Because it's not simply just starting to fertilize it. It's not just work out. It's not just going to the gym, but how to exercise, right? How to do it properly. And you have to have the right nutrition as well. So there are many other perspectives that we need to do. It's not just one temporary solution. I am speaking of a solution that can cover it all. I'm talking about a solution that will guide you. It is the reference system that will help you get closer to the seven holistic wealth, which is the holistic life. And my friends, there are three of them, not just one, okay? All three of them. But my goal for today and tomorrow is to introduce you to the very first one, which is called the root formula. And that is my promise to you. You will have a great understanding. You will have a solution. And once again, I just kind of like downloaded this name, and I love it a lot, which is the three semantic reference system. And the synonym for it is SRS. So in contrary to SOS, which is someone who is in need of help, SRS can help this person, who help the person who needed help, and we provide a reference system. We provide a tool so that they can save themselves. They don't have to wait for other people to come to rescue them. We will provide them the tool that they need to not only save themselves, but hopefully eventually they can share this knowledge with others. And I am super pumped. I am super excited that we are having this. And my friends, we are reaching toward the end of the presentation. Therefore, if you have any question, or if you have anything that you would like to share, feel free to raise your hand, and we can discuss it in the last 5 minutes that we do have. And if not, I will play a song to so that we can go out with a song. So let me go and ahead and get the song ready, maybe even play it. And if you do have a question that you would like to share, or if there's something that you would like to share, feel free to just raise your hand and I will be able to see it. I will be able to invite you to raise your hand as the song is playing. And yeah, let's stop at that. So let's play a song.